We've got a good switchboard of what's going on, and also.
Well, we'll find out in a minute, won't we?
Where do you want to go? I'm very excited about tonight because there's a couple of 4 out of 5. Do you want to go straight into them or leave them?
Let's go.
Do you want to go to the worst one?
Let's go to the worst. Let's go to Perry.
Perry.
All right, Perry.
Good morning.
Morning, how's it going?
Yeah, I'm all right. How are you?
Rufus rates your story at 2 out of 5.
Oh, that's probably being generous.
Now, bearing in mind
really?
he gave 3 out of 5 to someone that spun a coin and it landed on its side.
Oh, I think it might be a bit better than that.
Okay, go on then, Perry.
Yeah, basically, first day of secondary school, I got put into a class. I sat next to a lad called Alex.
Yeah.
Never met him before in my life. Was friends throughout school. Skipped 2 years later, his mum and dad are holding a bonfire party. I meet his mum and dad for the first time. Have a chat with them, and it turns out that whilst my mum and dad were pregnant with me, the house they bought it off his mum and dad while she was pregnant with him.
Yeah, that's pretty what's going on.
That's not bad. That's not bad. Yeah, that's 2. You're right. 2 is stingy.
Yeah, that's good.
Stingy, I think.
I like that, Perry. Good work.
Cheers.
Cheers, Perry. I like that. That works.
Yeah,
I mean, that's a good start because it's supposedly the worst one on the board. And
I agree with that. It's been a good start.
Yeah. How would I pronounce the woman's name at the top, Jay?
It's Corinne.
What? Corinne.
Corinne.
Is that how you pronounce it?
Yeah.
Corinne, is that right?
All right.
What did you just do there? Did you squeeze one out there, Corinne?
Jason!
It sounded like she did, right?
Or a door opened.
No, what did you do, Corinne?
It's Corrine.
Corrine.
Yeah.
Okay, again, Rufus' fault.
He spelled it wrong. Yeah, go on.
Go on then, Corrine. What do you do for a living?
I'm a carer.
Okay. Oh, we spoke to you before, haven't we?
Yeah.
Okay. Go on then, tell us your story.
Right, one of my best mates rang me after she'd woken up and she'd had a dream that we were both in Amsterdam together, but her dream was that we were at a tulip field. But I'd had the same night a dream that we were both in Amsterdam, but in my dream we were both in a coffee shop relaxing.
Right. Is that what you've been tonight?
Hold on. So you're saying that there was no coincidence or similarity, apart from you just had a dream?
Yeah, but we both dreamt about each other being in Amsterdam the same night.
Why would there be a link? Was there anything you had discussed that day or anything you'd watched on TV linking Amsterdam?
We talked about going to Amsterdam about...
So it's not that much of a coincidence then?
About 5 weeks ago.
So you talked about going to Amsterdam?
Yeah.
And did you talk about going into coffee shops?
Well, I did, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
And did she talk about going into tulip fields?
Yeah, she did.
Yeah. So basically just dreamt about what we spoke about.
What's going on then?
That's amazing. Rufus gave that 2. That's 5 out of 5. That is for my money. Wow. Let's go to... That's brilliant. They're 2 great calls. I've just been told, by the way, right? Usually we're meant to end this feature in about 3 minutes' time and take a guest in the last part. Yeah. But I've just been told the guest... I don't know if Rufus booked him, but has pulled out. So
good. I'd say.
Yeah, good.
Let's carry on.
We can carry these over. Let's go to... I don't want to ruin it. They've been brilliant. I think Bill's going to be good. Bill.
All right, Bill.
It's Dale.
Bill?
Dale. Spell...
Dale as in D-A-L-E.
Dale?
Yeah.
Dale, and Rufus has put Bill.
Yeah.
Gee, it's not even similar.
Jeez.
Yeah, I agree.
Rufus has gone red. I can see him from here.
Yeah,
sorry,
Hello,
Dale.
what's your name? Dale. Okay, I'll put Bill down then. Sorry, Dale.
That'll do.
Sorry.
That's all right.
Go on then, what's your story, Dale?
So basically what happened, there's 3 things to this, but the first thing that happened was my brother basically gets a phone call from his friend, and he says, are you not going to let me in your house? He's got one of these buzzer systems. So my brother's like, I'm not at home. And he says, okay, right, well, who's in your house? He says, nobody. He lives alone. So anyway, turns out he swore he seen somebody at my brother's kitchen window. So anyway, that was like, we didn't know whether to believe him or whether he just, whatever he'd seen. So anyway, we kind of weren't thinking about it. And but a week or so later, my brother says he was gone to bed. It was probably about 2:30, 3 in the morning. And all of a sudden, his front door just shut. It just closed. And again, like I say, my brother lives alone in a secured entry flat, which has 2 flats in it. So again, my brother tells me that, and I'm a bit like, nah, I don't know. So anyway, we're sitting one night. I think we were actually watching football on TV, just normal night, and all of a sudden the kettle just started to boil. Now, to let you understand, the living room is attached to the kitchen essentially. So it's like, what? How? Who, there's nobody else in the house.
Right.
That's it. It's like, what's going on?
What's going on?
Doesn't work with the X-File music.
Sorry, Dave. That is it? I mean,
That's it. That's it. I mean, to this day, we still don't know.
Still don't know.
How
My brother still lives in the flat.
So the kettle.
Still there.
Can I ask, with the kettle boiling on its own, did it need a switch being pushed down for the kettle to boil?
like you put it on. It's like one of these ones that it's not connected. It's just got a base. You put it on the base, and then you push the little switch down behind it.
Okay.
A little light even comes on.
Has
a little
anything
blue light
else
actually
happened?
comes on the kettle.
Dad, has there anything else happened in this flat? That's weird.
Not since, no.
Can I ask, did you make a cup of tea?
We had done previously, but you're talking like an hour and a half before
No,
that.
but I'm saying, when it boiled, did you think, I might as well have a cup of tea now?
Well, we did. I can't remember.
Okay. Good story,
Cheers,
Chow.
Dale.
Cheers. What do you call you? What was it? Bill. Cheers, Bill.
Bill will do.
Cheers, Bill. They're good stories, aren't they?
I'm still not convinced
What?
about the Amsterdam Dream one. I mean, that was that was easy.
I know John's there. John, I know you can hear me. I'm going to keep yours in a minute, John, because yours is 4 out of 5. Let's go to Jono. Jono, you there?
Hello, you all right?
All right, John.
Hi, Jono. What do you do for a living, Jono?
I'm a fabricator.
You're a what?
A fabricator.
Fabricator. What does a fabricator do?
Don't say fabricates.
We work with sheet metal, and we build big fridges and walk-in freezers.
For who?
Okay.
For like butchers?
For anywhere that needs fridges, like, it's mainly pubs and
Oh, right, okay.
schools and stuff like that. We've done sort of.
So you're a fridge builder?
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, fridge builder.
Okay.
Go on then, Jono. Tell us about your what's going on story.
Well, it's my mum rather than me. Basically, she's always been a big believer in supernatural and all the weird sort of stuff like that. And she used to always own pubs before I was born. It was a long time before I was born. This story. She was working in this pub one night, and she was going out on a date with a bloke called Vince Eager, who was a bit of a local celebrity.
Who?
I've never heard of him. If you Google him, he's on there.
Right.
His name is Vince
Okay,
Eager.
yeah, go on.
Yeah. He did all that. She was going out with him. She was upstairs getting ready, but she really didn't want to go. Something was bugging her in the back of her mind, thinking, I don't want to go tonight. She put her makeup on anyway, and sat behind her on the bed. It was like a big. She'd been to Florida a few years before, and she had this big Mickey Mouse thing, it was about 4 foot, like a child-sized Mickey Mouse sat on the bed. And it suddenly just leapt up and hit her on the back of the head. It jumped off the bed and hit her.
What?
So
A 4 foot Mickey Mouse jumped off the bed and hit your mum.
Flew literally over the other side of the room and hit her on the back of the head.
What's going on?
What's going on?
And then what happened?
Well, yeah, that was it. She sort of thought, right, that's it, I'm not going. That's sort of like a sign.
Oh, hold on. She was in two minds as to go on a date, and once a giant Mickey Mouse hit her, she thought, oh, that's a sign.
That's it, yeah, I'm not going. So she rang down to the bar, to whoever's working on the bar, and said, when Vince comes in, tell him I'm not going out. I don't feel very well. I'm not up to it, sort of thing. So she rang down. And anyway, this Vince turned up, and he found out my mum wasn't going out of him. So he went out on his own to whatever they were going to.
Yeah.
And the next day, my mum found out that he'd been in a car crash.
Oh, my goodness.
A car had gone ploughing into the passenger side of the car, where my mum would have been sat, and she definitely would have died as well, because she's in the car.
John, a good story. Sorry, what's happening to the music? It's going into drum and bass. This was never in expert. What's going on there? More what's going on when we come back.
Come on,
Turn it down.
Behave.
Turn it down. Spun. Let's get through as many as we can. I'm going to go to John. You're just ruining it for the listener.
Look at Rufus. What an absolute
What was
plum.
he doing? What was he doing?
What an absolute plum.
What was Rufus doing?
He's just being an...
Right, shut up. We've got 6 minutes to go. John, 4 out of 5, the highest one Rufus rates, which doesn't really say much.
All right, John boy.
John, good morning.
Hi guys, how you doing?
Yeah, good. Off you go, Johnny boy.
Okay, this is so 25 years ago at university, first year, they put you in halls of residence. So we had 8 guys in one hall. One weekend, Nick went home for the weekend. Nick had a TV, so he left us his keys to his room. So we spent a few evenings in there watching TV, drinking a bit, having a bit of fun. Decided one night to do a Ouija board. Nobody ever done one before.
Oh, no, I hate these stories. Yeah, go on.
Set up his desk, put A to Z around, numbers 1 to 10, put a glass in the middle, and then nothing kind of happened for an hour. It was a bit boring, and then suddenly it started to move, and it took off, and it freaked us out a bit. Yeah. So we had a few hours of that kind of messing around, and it was quite good. But whenever I had a friend from Athens in Greece who was there called Lick. He was one of the guys. Whenever Lick was touching it, it seemed to go really fast, and it kept spelling Lick. It kept getting L-I-K, which was really freaking Lick out, like big time. So we asked it, are you going through Lick? And it kept saying, yes, going through Lick. So it really freaked him out so much that he wouldn't touch it, took his hands off it and ran out the room.
Fair enough.
So yeah. And so eventually he came back in and we set up a test. So we asked Lick to ask a question in Greek, okay? So he wasn't touching the glass at this point. There were 4 or 5 of us touching the glass. Yeah. He asked a question in Greek. The glass started to move and it started to spell George. And at that point he absolutely freaked out because he'd asked what was the name of his cat that had just died at home. He'd found out in a phone call home that day, and his cat was called George. Nobody knew it.
What's going on there? Right, I'd want to talk more to John, but I can't because I want to get through. But that's an amazing what's going on. That's brilliant.
Lick and George.
Pardon? Lick and George, yeah. David's up next. He's a Newcastle fan. Dave?
Hi, Dave.
Hello, lads. How are you doing? All right?
Yeah, good, man. We've got about 3.5 minutes. Off you go, Dave.
Right, I'll make it quick, mate. This only happened last night as well.
Hold on. Do you mean Wednesday night, as in like a couple of hours ago?
Sorry, no, Tuesday night.
Okay.
Sorry, Tuesday night, last
night.
Anyway, I took the dogs out for a walk last night. Lovely night. Left my phone in the house on charge. Ended up taking the dogs for a longer walk than I intended to do. So I bumped into a kid. He's an acquaintance at best. So he hasn't got my number. I haven't got his number.
Hold on. I didn't hear any of that. You bumped into?
I bumped into a kid I know. He's an acquaintance, not really a friend, just a kid I know who I pass on the street.
Right, okay, an acquaintance, yeah.
He hasn't got my number. I haven't got his number. And as far as I know, he definitely doesn't know who my wife is. I said to my guys, I can't borrow your phone, mate, to phone my wife, can I? He goes, oh, no problem. So you unlock his phone, hand it. I put her number in. A name only comes up, doesn't it?
Well,
Yo, what's going on?
Hold on. His wife...
No, he loaned me his phone to ring my wife.
Yeah. I'll tell you what's going on there, Dave.
Yeah.
No, it's not going on. That's definitely not going on.
There's plenty going on there, Dave.
Dave, I'll tell you what's going... Dave, I'll tell you what's going on there.
How else?
I'd be asking some serious questions.
Yeah, I know exactly what's happening. If you borrow your mate's phone and your wife's number comes up in it, that's not what's going on. Yeah. That's get her out.
What has been going on?
What's going on?
That is what has been brilliant. You got one to go to, top or bottom, quickly.
Top.
Jay joins us now. Jay.
Right, Jay.
Jay, Man United fan?
Yeah.
Off you go. You got 1 minute. Go.
Oh, good. Fast as.
Yeah.
I rescued a little sheep. We ended up in the sun on Sunday. His mum wouldn't feed it, so I fed it, and I just take it down the pub. And that's what's going on. And we're in the newspaper.
What do you mean you take a sheep? What do you mean you take a sheep down the pub?
I take a sheep down the pub.
Have you got the sheep with you now?
Yeah, he's lying at my feet.
What's his name?
He won't accept pictures. Mirren. I found him on St. Mirren's Day, and I thought he was a girl. And I mean, dear to me...
Sorry, hold on. You've got a sheep by your feet?
Yeah, he's lying there right now. I live in the field with him because he's...
You're in the field now?
Yeah, I'm living in a tent in the field with him, and I feed him 4 times a day. I just want him to live, brother. I just want him to live.
Okay, that's very nice.
Sounds like he's living.
Why
You're going to eat him make a couple of lamb chops out of him.
He's in the paper. Rufus will show you. Show you.
Why don't you bring him into your house?
I knew you were going to do that.
Why don't you bring him into your house, Jay?
I knew when the duck lover and the sheep lover. Yeah, here we go.
Jay, great call. Thanks for that. Cheers, pal.
What's going on there?
What is going on there? He lives in a tent with a sheep. That's basically our demograph right there. He lives with a sheep in a tent in the middle of a field.
That's not glamping.
That's TalkSport listener right there.